people need to understand really that the violence is not necessarily the gun. You know, I think it's the person using the gun, and there's a lot of issues out there. You know, do they have mental issues? Do they have whatever issue? But I think the gun violence is by the perpetrator.
Something that could be done to help then it would be go up to that kid that's at the one table that's always bullied. Just go talk to him, try to be their friend, just be there to help them.
Gun violence has been around us since Chinese days when they first invented them. So I don't know in what way that you're referring. Anytime that you have something available, it's going to be misused and it will be anti what it was for. You can look at whatever. I mean, we had somebody on High State University campus that took their vehicle about a year ago, ran over people, jumped out with a knife. So should we outlaw all cars? Should we outlaw all knives? So I don't know what you mean by gun violence. I can give you 10 more examples of where cars are misused all the time, but everybody accepts that. Why do you accept that? And you're on the, you want to limit the use of firearms. It doesn't make any sense. You can walk down or drive down the highway and you see signs all over where it says 300 alcohol-related deaths with vehicles, okay? And that was just this year. Or 200. So why is it that when we have much less numbers dealing with, even if you take that 17 terrible, tragic number down in Florida, that's nothing. I mean, we have that many accidents on a daily basis with alcohol in cars. So why don't we outlaw alcohol in cars? We already have rules where you cannot use those things together, but it's accepted. We have rules where the person down in Florida was not supposed to get a gun. Matter of fact, the FBI had information on it. But now we want to jump on that thing. Why shouldn't we persecute and prosecute the sheriff's department who allowed that to happen, who had been called to that guy's house 23 times? And why shouldn't we prosecute and persecute the FBI? Because they had knowledge of it beforehand. They're not doing their jobs, but it's okay. Let's jump on the gun thing. I don't understand it.
Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Well, I think people own guns for a lot of reasons. There's sports, there's, livelihood, there are those reasons. I don't think people own a gun to go out necessarily to kill people. They own them for other reasons, the sport of it, the hunting of it. Especially in this area, a lot of people like to hunt.
People own guns so that just in case there is an uprising or anything, they have a way to defend themselves, like the Second Amendment says, rights that shall not be infringed. So that means that people try to take those away from us, they're breaking our unalienable rights that we have. And people own guns for fun, like I own guns for hunting and shooting, going to the gun range and having a great time. Guns aren't the problem. You can't blame inanimate objects for the problem.
For a variety of different reasons. I have a niece that is in junior high that enjoys going to shooting competitions. She goes all over the United States competing with target practice. I know we need some for military. So I think that's one reason. I have a farm and I desperately need some to take care of all the critters and varmints and those kind of animals that invade and eat up my livestock, my feed for the horses and for the sheep and for different things. So I would be at a great disservice and loss if I would not have something to protect those. And my wife has a job 90 miles away from me, and she has a weapon in order to protect herself, because she lives in an area all over the place now where there's drugs. And since I'm not around to do the protecting for her, she feels much better with having one. And I would like to raise this question. We know that there are people out there that are wanting to do harm. We know that there are people 6'6" and 250 pounds, solid muscle. What is it that you can do to protect yourself if you are a 5-foot woman from somebody that big? There's nothing that you can do to protect yourself bodily in a physical nature, whether it be a knife, a spear, a club, whatever. The only thing that makes it equal for you to be protected would be some kind of firearm weapon. So it is a terrible tragedy when they are misused, but here's my comparison. A year ago, we had somebody in New York City that took a car and ran down a half a dozen or a dozen people with the car. And that made national headlines. Why is it that we never saw any advertisements to outlaw cars? I mean, it was used illegally, and it was used to do nothing but harm. So why shouldn't we have the same things? A weapon, firearm weapon, can be used successfully for you to defend yourself against whatever kind of criminal elements out there. Don't try to outlaw them if we're not going to outlaw cars, because we've already had examples of where they can be misused as well. As it is right now, I have to say, we already have gun control. So I'm trying to figure out by what you mean you need gun control. We already have it. So our problem is not the gun control itself, it's enforcing what we already have.
I think it's the shock and awe. I think, the notoriety of, hey, let me go in and get my 15 minutes of fame. I think it's more of a, let me bring the attention to myself as the shooter.
So mass shootings differ from the other types of gun violence because usually there's a leading cause of why they wanted to do that. So if you look at the shooters in Florida, the kid was bullied all the time, but he wanted to get back at the bullies who did it. And other just shootings are like when people are drunk and all that and they accidentally fire a gun.